Hey, warm welcome to you. My name's Michelle from the Soul Translator and from the Empowered Empath Experience. Today in this episode, we are going to be going over a couple really wonderful crystal allies. And I say allies because everything is energy, and as much as it may sound woo-woo and as much as people may think like, oh, crystals, come on, they're just a bunch of rocks, everything is energy. And everything can have meaning and has the intention that you give it to it. So yes, there's a lot of science behind the properties of crystals, and yes, there's a lot of spiritual background, and those who have attuned to crystals, you know, different mystics and shamans and healers over the centuries that have found that certain rocks and crystals have certain healing properties. So we can't deny that because a lot of it's in a lot of our history or our herstory. And also, it's always the intention that you give things. So I'm going to go over a couple crystals here that are really wonderful for everybody, but particularly for empaths and spiritual entrepreneurs and anybody who qualifies as or identifies themselves as being a sensitive, because these particular ones are great for us. So, and with that being said, remember that anything, whenever you work with crystals, you power them up with the intention that you want them to hold for you. This is like manifestation magic 101. So here you go. Here are a couple really great crystals. Now, you may want to grab a piece of paper and a pen so you can write these down, because I have 7 crystals that we're going to go over. All right, so the first one is smoky quartz. This is a very light smoky quartz. This is wonderful for grounding your energy, clearing and cutting away negative energy. This is good for when you have a lot of mental kind of rumination. You're just going over and over things and you really want to just clear that out. See, I'm just kind of even doing this like a random little, whoa, I'm going to clear things out. No, I'm totally joking with that. But if that works for you, do it. It's the intention that you set in it again. Smoky quartz is really fantastic for blocking us and protecting us from negative energy that's coming to us, or negative energy that is stuck in our own grid and that we want to clear out. So the next one, obsidian, black obsidian. You see how shiny that is? This is volcanic glass, basically. This is a super protector for being able to, again, repel negative energy and at the same time keep you grounded. Grounded is such a huge thing for, being grounded is such a huge thing for empaths and sensitives, because here's the thing that a lot of people tend to do, and I see this, I know this, I experience this myself, and I see this in the people that I work with, is that when the energies around us are getting too much, many of us want to just kind of leave our bodies. We want to check out. You see this in addictions. You see this in that tendency to kind of be in denial. And when you don't want to face things, you don't want to be uncomfortable and don't want to feel too much. The kind of, Achilles heel here for empaths is because we are extremely sensitive and because we are actually very embodied. Psychic empaths and those who are more on this intuitive psychic spectrum are generally actually very embodied souls, in our physical human form, because our bodies are like barometers for our gifts. So to check out and to be ungrounded is a real dissonance, and we're more sensitive to the disconnect of when it happens. So that's why this grounding piece is really, really wonderfully important. Okay, the next one here is labradorite, and I'm hoping I can get a little flash. Yeah, you can see a little bit of a flash of the color there. Labradorite has so many beautiful colors. It ranges, it's usually this darker stone that has these greens and blues and purples and yellows and oranges in it. Labradorite is a wonderful stone for empaths and psychics, and also for those who want to open up their intuition, because it is, like you can see, it's got this very, I'm trying to not have too much glare from my bright light there. It's like the ocean itself, the depths of the ocean. It's got this iridescent, deep quality to it. And yet at the same time, it's super earthy and grounded. It's got this dark, heavy kind of quality. Not heavy energetically, just in the sense of, the stone itself, the dark. Usually people associate this darker stone with something that's heavier and more grounded. So the labradorite is wonderful for opening up your intuitive abilities and at the same time keeping you grounded in your body, keeping you embodied. It is also super, damn it. I like to call labradorite like an empath's best friend or an intuitive's best friend, because it's got that wonderful quality of helping us to stay connected to the cosmic and also very terrestrial, embodied into and grounded into our bodies. Okay, so now the next one is this lovely red carnelian. Look, I hope you can see all those gorgeous colors. Deep red, blood red. This is wonderful for when you need to make decisions. So it's a very grounding stone, but it also has this quality of helping you kind of choose what's right and wrong, not from your head place, but from your intuitive and your body wisdom, your body intelligence. So carnelian is, there's so many more qualities, by the way, to a lot of these crystals, but I want to give you the basics, the kind of, the bullet point important parts of these crystals for empaths and sensitives. And I say this, I bring up carnelian here as a wonderful grounding stone in this whole thing about choosing, because often empaths can be have difficulties making solid decisions. Because we are so sensitive and can be so influenced or merging with other people's opinions and ideas, that we have to sift through and discern through that stuff to get clear on, like, wait a second, what was it that I wanted? What was it that was really true for me? So carnelian can be really helpful with that. Okay, now the next three stones I'm going to show you are more around working with your nervous system and your emotional body, and particularly around also self-value. So this first one is aventurine. It is a wonderful rock for being able to calm anxiety, to help you feel clear on what you want and why you want it. It's a wonderful prosperity stone. If you want to call in more, opportunities and manifestation and money, this is a wonderful stone for that. And it's also really, really great for your adrenal glands. It really helps mitigate any sort of extra stress in the adrenal glands that is also affecting your cortisol levels. And it's also a wonderful one to be able to stop that kind of energy sucking, or what they call energy vampires. So this aventurine is kind of like a double booster because it's got the soothing part and then it's also got the protective part. So this is green calcite, and look at that, it's so gorgeous. It's like this old milk glass. It's very celestially connected. It's kind of a hard word to say. Green calcite is very similar to aventurine in the sense of these basic qualities of being calming for the nervous system, helping your adrenal, you're helping that whole parasympathetic, sympathetic system settle down. It's very, as you can tell, like even looking at it, it almost looks like one of those pieces of beach glass. You can tell just by looking at it that this is really a very settling and soothing stone. Now the last one is this one, and I know I'm going to say this funny. It's called FUCH SITE, but of course whenever I read that I think, well, it sounds like fuchsite or fuchsite or fish site. Fish, like, I don't know exactly how to say it, but it's this really, really lovely green stone. It's got kind of like these little crystalline sparkles in it. I don't know if you can see that. This is super for self-worth, which is so important for just about everybody on the planet, because all of us are learning how to really believe in ourselves on a very, very deep, loving level. But also particularly for empaths and sensitives, because part of the reason why sometimes we end up discounting our gifts and our strengths is because we've been put down for them, or we've been judged because of our sensitivities, and that can affect our self-worth. Anybody who ever is getting put down for who they are, it's going to affect your self-worth. And this this Fuchsite is going to really be so helpful in bringing about a strong yet soft sense of self-worth. So, and again, it's spelled Fuchsite. Okay, so those are 7 crystals that are really wonderful to help boost your empathic and sensitive self, to help protect and ground you. And please, when you use these stones, when you get a stone from a store or from a friend, it's very important that you first clear it. And you can clear it by placing it in some water and then washing it off, let it soak in the water a bit, and then put it in the sunlight and charge it up. You can use sage smoke. It's very important that you set your intention into the stones. So with these stones that I've offered as resources for you, do look them up. Get a crystal book and explore this wonderful world of how these crystal allies can help us ground. And there's just, ages worth of information on how crystals can help. But do set your intention with them so that they are charged up with the frequency of what you want them to support you in, and also what you want them to help you manifest in your life, whether that be protection or prosperity or health or whatever the case may be. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode on Wonderful Crystal Allies, and I will see you in the next episode. So thanks so much for watching. My name again is Michelle Anita for